Welcome back, beautiful people. I've got some sad news. I've officially exited out of my XDTE position entirely. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing why and what moves I'm making moving forward with my portfolio. So without further ado, let's get right into it. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really does help. And if you could, it would be lovely if you would subscribe. And at the end of the series or at the end of this video, please make sure to comment down below. That would really go a long way. And so yeah, let's get into it. All right, guys, so here it is. As you can see, my Robinhood account value, if you guys have been following me for a while, has finally increased. And one of the reasons why is because, like I mentioned, I exited out of my XDTE position entirely, which meant that I was able to take the funds on Webull and reallocate them or basically combine them all into Robinhood. Now, for full transparency, I do want to share this. I still have the funds in Webull, the cash funds. I have to wait a few days for them to settle, and then I'm going to be able to transfer them into my checking account, my bank account, basically. So in the meantime, I didn't want to miss out on some of the buying opportunities that we had yesterday. So what I ended up doing is I actually transferred some funds that weren't meant for investing from my bank, which is okay. So anyways, I just wanted to communicate that to you guys for full transparency. But real quick, for those of you who are new, I'm going to be quickly sharing this. This is what this video series is about. It's how I'm building a $0 to $1,000 a month dividend portfolio. I put it as that as my goal versus like a certain account, net account value, just because, it'd be cool for both, but I just think this is more sustainable or more within reach of what I'm trying to do. And there's sub goals within this. So one of the sub goals that I'm currently focusing on is getting my first $100 a month in dividends paid out to me. So basically for this series, I'm doing invest a minimum of $300 a month into high income dividend ETFs. And the way I'm able to do this is because I have remote work plus a business. And so I'm taking a portion of my income from my remote work plus business and my business, and I'm depositing it into my Robinhood account, as you guys can see here. And basically, and let me zoom out for you so you guys can see everything. Basically, I'm investing those funds into no more than 3 ETFs, similar to, it doesn't have to be these positions particular, but similar to HUI, WPay, and QDTE. And then as you can see, what I'm going to be doing is right now I'm not using margins. So I'm taking 100% of the dividends and reinvesting them back into the positions after they pay me out, which will equal more and more money, which equals me getting closer to this goal. Okay, so that's pretty simply straight up. I just wanted to share that with you guys for those of you who are new here. And yeah, let's get back to the portfolio. So as you can see, again, this number has changed on my Robinhood account. Anyways, I only have 3 positions now, which is awesome. And as you can see here, I actually do have some buying power, but it's less than last time, if you guys remember. So I actually did deploy all of my buying power. But you might say, well, Joe, that's not all because you have $43.95 left. Well, let me explain something, guys. I had an opportunity and I capitalized on it. So I took all my money in XDTE and I decided to deploy it into HUI, and that's what I'm calling it. HUI, whatever. Doesn't really matter to me. Maybe it's called HU. I don't know. HU, W. But I decided to deploy it here. And basically, I got in at such a good place. Actually, it was technically lower than here before. I got in at $69.70 originally. This did move up a bit for very obvious reasons, because I had to move funds from Robinhood to Webull, or from Webull to Robinhood, and etc. But yeah, I actually had more shares, and I'm gonna cover that in the sheet soon. But what ended up happening is actually here, let me get back so I can show you guys. So like, this is not the best picture, but basically this happened yesterday. So I bought in right here, and all of a sudden, after I bought in, HUI basically HU W, I'm gonna say HU W like skyrocketed. I mean, I ran this, and right around like here, I actually ended up selling a small percentage of my HU W position. And the reason why, and that's why I have the $43.95. And here's the reason why. So HU W actually already released their what is it called? X date. for their upcoming share, or for their upcoming dividend payout, excuse me, which was obviously yesterday, the 29th, today's the 30th. And, basically what ended up happening is I knew I wouldn't qualify for that. And so I did the math, so for instance, $2.22. If I did that, and let's get my calculator over here, $2.22. If I did that times, let's just say my existing 14.57, I would get around $32.34 for this week if I got paid out based on that current distribution. However, I'm not going to be able to get that because I just entered in this position yesterday on Monday, the first day of the week. So I decided, and I got this actually idea from someone else. It's not my original idea, but I decided to sell off a small piece of my shares. That way I can get, basically my dividend payout and a little bit extra, Plus, I wasn't sure if this would, dip down and then maybe I move into another position. So at least I got something. So my goal is that I'll probably deploy this into back into Hui at some point. We shall see. But yeah, that's kind of like why I did what I did there. So that's why I have that amount. I don't want to go on too much rants. I want to be quick here for you guys. I increased my WPay, if you guys can tell. And again, I did deploy that $465, I think it was, across all three of these positions, right? But this is pretty awesome. So when I entered in this position, as you can see, I'm totally up right now. I'm up $92. I'm up 8.95%. This thing is ran since yesterday. Yeah, so I have about $1,121.48 in total market value in this position right now. This is the amount of shares that I have. Again, I did technically have like 15 point something shares. I can't remember the exact amount. I have it at an average cost of 70.67. This is actually kind of messed up. I actually had this at a lower, I think it was $70.11 average cost. But when I sold that small amount, and maybe someone in the comments, maybe one of you guys can comment down below and explain this to me. But when I sold off that small piece that I mentioned, this jumped up to 70.67. I don't understand why. It makes no sense to me, but whatever. And then WPay as of right now, I'm at $392.34. Total return, still up pretty good, up $13.24. I did invest more, so my average cost did go up a bit more, but I'm anticipating that I'm going to get paid out quite a lot more. And the reason why, and here's what's awesome, the distribution rate. Okay? So if we look here, what we can see is it's paying out way more than I was expecting, guys. And I think it's because its holdings are this. So they're holding Hood, they're holding Apple, they're holding Nvidia, they're holding Tesla, they're holding all these, AMD, Berkshire Hathaway, Microsoft, Netflix, Amazon, Palantir, and they're performing well, obviously. So I think that is why they're paying out this high dividend amount. Again, total speculation. I don't actually know for sure, but I'm going to be getting a piece of that. Now, whether or not I'm going to be getting it for the total amount of shares that I have now is different, but I know at least I'll get it for 4.65 shares. So that's going to be awesome to have, and I'm really excited that I was expecting this to stay at 0.50. Honestly, this distribution that's coming out on, I believe it's getting paid out, on Wednesday? Yeah, on Wednesday. But they blew my mind out of the park. I'm really excited about this position. It's performing very well. As you can see, ever since its inception, it's just pretty much been up and to the right, minus this more recent dip that we had. So let's move into the QDTE position. Okay. As you can see, QDTE, it's doing okay. I have $331.77 of market value, with a total of $6 and basically 1 penny, 1 cent. So 1.84%. I'm pretty happy with that. And I did increase my shares, so my average cost is now 34.90. So a little bit lower, or a little bit higher than before, which is to be expected, but it's all good. And we did also reinvest that dividend payout. And yeah, let's get into my investing journal. So this is what I logged as of yesterday when I was going through this. Of course, this is dramatically changed. It's at $1,800, maybe not dramatically, but $1,889.53. So it is higher. They're performing a little bit better than what I originally logged. And then I left this here for you guys to see. I did get that $2.52 from my XDTE dividend payout on yesterday. And then last week in total, I got $6.89 in dividends paid out. Before I get into the spreadsheet, I did want to show you guys this real quick. So when I was exiting out of my XDTE position, I have been searching for a higher yield position. And the reason why is because I want to increase my overall gains, right? I want to increase my overall portfolio performance. And in order to do that, I had to look for something a little bit more risky. So I do want to quickly share that W is not nearly as safe or as stable as XDTE, but the price appreciation for me, or just the account growth and value for me, as well as the higher dividend payouts. Because, like, I mean, look at this. I mean, like, we got 150% distribution rate. That's incredible, right? So that's kind of what inspired me on one end to like look into this. But now let's just see if I invested $10,000 since the inception, right? In June 18th of 2025. That's the inception of W, not XDTE. And I also invested in XDTE. Here's what we would be at. So with dividends reinvested, I would get about check this out. So total return of 11.32% versus W 88.78%. As you can see, we got $18,878 from the original $10,000 versus this. So seeing this really blew my mind. And this is without dividends. Without dividends, we're still doing $17,978 versus XDTE's $11,095. Let's not include the annualized gain. Let's just do the total return. So that's a 10.95% versus a 79.78% total return. So to me, that's kind of what I wanted to focus on, is the total return percentages and their differences. And that's what kind of made me go into W. Plus, I'm pretty bullish on Robinhood as a whole. So I think they're going to be performing well. Look, for 1 year, it's doing great. So this is since October of 2024. You know, it's to present. It's doing amazing. So I'm pretty bullish long term. They're doing a lot with Robinhood and their platform, offering new services, new products to their customers, such as me. So I think over time, considering how Hood or W works, it is doing a swap, and so that's kind of what they're doing. I'm not really fully 100% sure about how swaps work, but looking at the overall performance and seeing how Roundhill, you know, basically manages their funds and stuff like that, you know, I have a lot of confidence, at least for now. But again, I'm not married to any of these positions. As you can see, I was pretty bullish on XDTE. I exited out of that out of nowhere and just went in on this. So that's the name of the game. The game is, the only thing I'm married to is getting the most amount of gains possible for my portfolio, and that's it. Let's get into the dividend sheet. So as you guys can see, I have my total number of shares for each position, the average cost per share, and here is where we really need to pay attention to. So right here is what I'm really focused on, these numbers, specifically these percentages. As I always say, the market return, we're doing great. We're doing great in all positions. As you can see, W crushing it, 8.91%. QDTE still doing great, way better than my XDTE. My XDTE was doing 0.78% at the market return percentage. And just to be clear, I don't expect this market return to always be in the green like it is right now. My most important part is my total return in green, you know, and that is the most important part, because like as you can see, market return for QDTE is 2.01% versus total return is 3.61%, right? That's because the dividends get paid out. Same thing with WPay. I'm higher up in the WPay total return, but you know, I do anticipate that maybe WPay will see some price appreciation. That's just speculation though, of course. But yeah, we're looking good. We are looking very, very good in terms of dividend logs. So, you know, I have this as 0 right now just because I'm not going to include in the dividend log sheet that amount that I sold off, just because it is selling a position. But you know, we're looking good on the month of September for my positions. And then I did, oh, you know, I just realized I put it in August instead. So I made a mistake. I got to fix this, but basically this is supposed to be added onto here, not the other way around. So it is what it is, but still for the year, at least this is accurate numbers. So maybe I'll just leave it just for the sake of it. But yeah, these are the sold positions. So I sold this for a small profit in XDTE, and I did sell that W, but of course still negative on my overall sold positions, which is okay. And then, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for this. Yeah, we're looking good though in market return, total return so far. It's looking awesome. Market return so far is looking awesome. Yeah, we've got a lot going on with this portfolio, and I'm really excited for it. But yeah, that's really the update, guys. I don't want to take too much of your time. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below if you want to see anything else different, if you have any ETFs you want me to look into, or you just have any comments that you just want to share, whether it's funny, It's all good. But without further ado, until next time, peace.